And I'm also going to share with you the opportunity to have a look at all the responses and then a little story. So again, the question is what everybody ought to know about this number one business and skill for business and life. And I'm really excited to share something that actually happened yesterday as well. But before I do, I'm just going to, show you the post that I put out just a few days ago. And it says, what do you believe is the number one skill in business for success? And, you know, there are so many amazing things. There's kindness. Thank you, Jennifer. Sandy, you said connection and communication. People need to know you listened or understood their needs and you communicate clearly, that you have a solution to help them. Yeah, absolutely. Bernie, communication. We've got more continued, like resilience, resourcefulness, belief, productive activity, a combination of skills. That's really important. Persistence, taking action, financial management, connection, an authentic desire that will help to help people, get out of your own way. The word success is subjective. It could be financial, helping people, knowing you gave your best effort, created the best product, etc. Yes, communication skills, sales efforts, authenticity, stay authentic, true connection, passion for what you do, learning from your mistakes, the ability to influence people, common sense, honesty, marketing, alignment, knowing that you don't have all the skills needed to become successful and identify which skills are needed, personability, same as in life, adaptability, honesty, a good demonstration, setup of your product, of what it can do, and I would suggest how it benefits people, your audience, hardworking. And I just wanted to just share those because that was pretty awesome. And if you're popping on in to watch this live, I really appreciate it. And if you're watching the replay, just, you know, let me know down below what you think is one of the top skills as well. But I really wanted to tap in and share something based on what I do to help people. I'm Katie Joy. I'm also known as the Global Butterfly for Transformation. And I really help people get out of their own way inside business and in life, particularly to achieve and meet and realize their ideal goals and goals that they have. And I wanted to share with you what I think is actually the root number one skill. And I thought I'd share it today on my personal page so that everybody got the benefit of this, and just consider it as something that you might want to you know, make awareness is the top skill, and without it, literally all those other ones can crumble and it can impact all the other, your ability to be productive. Without this, with this number one skill, it will impact your ability to communicate. It'll impact your ability to manage stress. And would you agree that the number one challenge in business and life is stress? Handling stress. How do you handle it when poop hits the fan? And let's face it, poop hits the fan pretty much every other day, right? There's, you know, and when you're in business, it's a warrior's game. Like you really got to, it's game on, because like you're really getting refined with you're coming up close and personal with so many people, whether they're clients and customers, whether in your own stuff comes up, but you also with people that you were joint venturing with, or maybe they're people that they're providing goods and services to you to then pass on to other people. There's just all these connections, productivity, financial management, financial cash flow. It's all going to relate to this number one skill. Before I share it, let me demonstrate it in a story. So yesterday, I had a really fun time going into my local area, which I absolutely love. I love this place called Fremantle, and went with a friend and my son, and I had an amazing experience. You know, we went for lunch, had a beautiful pizza, had a wine, went through the park, went to the markets, got ice cream. And after that, we decided to stop and look at the street performer there in Fremantle. Now, my personal first awareness of this particular person ready to do the street entertainment, I could see that his energy, his vibe was off. I could see that he was struggling internally, mentally, with something that was going on. I don't know, you know, you've maybe been in that experience yourself before, right? Maybe you've had a fight with the partner and you've got that mulling over in the head, or maybe you're thinking about a bill that needs to be paid and stressing about that in the future. Anyway, this guy was doing his performance and I was enjoying it. And I took another photo, as I had taken photos of the rest of my day's experience. And it was the end of my day, nearly. So I decided to post 6 or 7 photos, including the one that I just took to Facebook, declaring what a wonderful, fantastic sunny Sunday it was. And as I'm doing that, I get this awareness that all eyes are on me. And my friend Michelle goes, "He's talking to you." Anyway, he's admonishing me in front of everybody. "Oi, you with your head in the phone, you should be here," right? And I was just like gobsmacked at the outcry that this person had done. Now, to be frank, I see this happen a lot with people in business and life, but I want to tell you the impact of that. I had already in my head committed to giving a $2 gold coin donation before we left, right? I withdrew that instantly. Wasn't going to happen. Packed up, left, out of here. But subconsciously, he had also admonished everybody else in the group and trained people, don't you dare take photos and post on social media, because you better pay attention to me. It's all about him, right? Whereas if he had have just taken a moment to take the opportunity, even if I wasn't posting on Facebook, right? But I was, and he just alienated me, somebody who was actually promoting him. But even if I wasn't, what would have been a really great example in that moment is to be emotionally present and then use that opportunity to say, "Hey, are you posting my picture on Facebook? My Instagram handle is," and just do something funny and pose, right? And then that would have subconsciously put into the seeds into everybody else of, "Oh yeah, let's take photos. Let's do this. Or I can go and find him on Instagram." And then you can promote and post, and now you're spreading the word. And I just thought that was it annoyed me badly, ticked me off when it happened. And it wasn't because he alienated me. It was because I'm so passionate about a business. I'm so passionate about life and succeeding that when I see people completely royally F it up like that and self-sabotage, I'm just like, oh my God, a little bit of number one skill, emotional intelligence, would have taken him a completely different direction. You know, and I talk about this a lot in my mastermind group with my Love Light Leadership Academy. And one of the things that I actually shared just fairly recently is like, have you ever had that drive home in the car and previously either that morning or you've had a few days of being in conflict with your partner and you're anticipating the fight moving forward and you're already in your head going through the whole conversation, but not necessarily having a positive cast of how it's going to turn out, a positive story. It's more of a negative one, and you're based on past experiences, based on previous memories, based on fear. And then that's all going on in your head. And by the time you get home, the poor partner hasn't even had a chance to be in the conversation. You've already boxed them in and they've got nowhere to go. Now, I see this happen all the time in business and in relationships. And people wonder like, oh my God, how do I make the changes? The key thing is you want to be able to look at some self-awareness around what the emotions are that are going on within you and where your head is at, where's your focus, so that the energy that you're bringing to the table, particularly in business, that you're parking it at the door, or you're handling it and you're releasing it and you're working with it, but you're also having a positive assumption about it. What would happen to your experiences if instead of making up negative assumptions about people, why they didn't pay a bill, why they didn't show up, why they're not looking at you, whatever it is, what would happen if you actually cast positive assumptions and you create that space for people to step up into? It'd be amazing. I promise you. It's something that I've seen again and again, and it creates an incredible shift. And you've all had this experience yourself. And when you've had a negative assumption, it always goes south. Always. It creates conflict. It creates this defense and attack. It creates this perception of fight, flight. It activates all of that in the body, and that energy doesn't help anybody. Another example that I was just sharing last night with some friends and my family when we were having some dinner is that imagine going to a restaurant, and the restaurant is a place that you've been to before maybe, and you've had really good experience before, but this time the food is a little average, and maybe there's some litter on the floor, and maybe there's just a few things that are off balance, but the waiter is fully present with you. They're having fun with you. You feel special. You feel seen, heard, and felt. How do you feel about that experience? Would you go back? Most people say yes, right? But the other way around, what if you were in the most clinically clean restaurant and it is a fabulous meal, but the waiter maybe is carrying on all of their conflict in their head and their stuff, the baggage into work, and they're just, take it out on you. They basically flick you the menu. They're a bit cold, they're distant. You just feel like you're a number. Would you go back? No matter how good the food was, right? So it doesn't matter how good your product and your service is if your emotional intelligence and your ability to connect and communicate, because you are available to be present and putting people into the hero status, well, then it doesn't matter about all those other things. And like your ability to be fully self-aware of your emotions and the energy, what's your energy, what's not your energy, and being present in time instead of in the past or the future. When you can be fully present, that enhances your ability to communicate. It enhances your ability to be present and available for other people and your capacity to be there. You're not going to be triggered by other people's stuff because you've got an expanded ability to manage and handle stress. With conflict, most people run away and avoid conflict, or what they perceive as conflict, instead of seeing it as an opportunity, casting a positive attitude, a positive expectation of a vision of it being resolved. Most people go into this mental image, this movie of, oh my God, they're going to ask for a refund, or they're going to complain about my product or service. And maybe they have a legitimate reason to do that. But when you show up and you can be present, a lot of that energy gets dissolved, and you show up with an intention to fully provide an amazing experience because your emotional energy is calm, it's available, you're light and fun, you're in an elevated vibration because you're in a good space, good vibes. People, honestly, they buy your energy, they don't buy your product or service necessarily. Your energy is what's going to cut you through the noise of everything else and what makes you different to everybody else. And that's true also whether you want to, in just life, like if you don't have a business yourself, but you have a career, your energy makes you memorable. Your energy is what other people want more of because they're struggling to figure out how to feel like that on a more consistent basis. So if this has been super valuable, do you agree with this? Like, is there some value in this for you? If there is, just say yes, let me know down below. If you're watching the replay or on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. I'll post that up on there as well. And you can get some more content like this coming soon. Much love, light, and manifesting lots of magic.